check, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 1.
Cool. Everybody else got it? Everybody else could do that. Yeah, cool.
Hi, my name is Zayne Harshaw. I'm the leader of Blue Spectrum.
My name is Zayne Harshaw, aka Zayne's dad, manager of his band Blue Spectrum.
Hi, I'm Gwendolyn Harshaw, Gwen for short. I am most likely known as Zayne's mom these days. Very few people call me by my birth name. The last few years have been quite a journey with Zayne and Blue Spectrum, his band. He was always drawn to music, and one of the things we try to explain, we were very involved as parents with his diagnosis, with the autism, with the therapies, but even though we were so involved, we really didn't notice his affinity for music. I mean, we kind of noticed it, but we didn't put any weight to it. I mean, we were really focused on academics and things like that, but we did notice he could hear a jingle or a song on the radio or TV and play it back perfectly. And so we were like, wow, that's kind of impressive. Well, back to your homework. Let's get those reading skills and everything up. When he was 11, 12, he liked video games like a lot of kids, and he did get pretty good at Guitar Hero. And when he was 12, he asked for The Real Thing. And I mean, it was kind of funny the way he did it. I think we were watching TV in the family room, and he walked in the middle of the family room in front of the TV and said, "I want The Real Thing, Mom." And we were like, okay. For his 12th birthday, he got the guitar, and he proceeded to let it collect dust in his room for about 2 years. But then suddenly, when he was 14, his interest got triggered again. And unbeknownst to us completely, he was up in his room just really working on playing the guitar.
Because I started playing Guitar Hero. When I was 12 years old, I got my first guitar, but I messed around with it and I put it down for a while. And then 2 years later, I was like 14. I was playing Guitar Hero, and I'm like, you know what? Let me bring that guitar back. At the beginning of 2010, I just picked up my guitar. I picked my confidence back up. Taught myself in my room, like teaching myself. Because I have perfect pitch. I'm like, I wasn't even looking at the sheets of notes on it because I didn't know how to read them. I just listened to it by ear. I played Guitar Hero that had a lot of Metallica songs, and Guitar Hero with Eddie Van Halen's song. That's what got me into shredding and stuff. That's got me into classic rock. That's pretty much how I learned how to be a musician.
He used YouTube, and he would watch Jimi Hendrix and Stevie Ray Vaughan. I mean, I think back to that time, and it's amazing how we really weren't aware. And I mean, we knew he was fiddling around with it, but we just considered it kind of a toy. In fact, we wouldn't let him touch it until he did his homework. And I gotta say, when you come from a diagnosis and all this negativity and all these things that you're told your child will never do, you don't know. By every measure, this is so unexpected. Zayne had severe dexterity issues when he was first diagnosed. He took occupational therapy for years, I think almost 8 years. He had trouble with handwriting, with buttoning his shirt, and we just wanted him to be able to sign his name. We had no idea. And we have commonly hear other guitarists talk about how fast he is. And I don't know, I just feel really blessed. No one would have expected this, least of all us.
There were so many things that we missed, that we really, really missed. Sometimes you get so caught up in appointments and evaluations and, you know, this professional, that professional, and you can forget about their personhood. You can forget that in the midst of this, you got Zayne still standing there like, I'm still Zayne. You know, I still have my passions and dreams and things I want to do, and to him, it's what he's supposed to do. He says this is what he was born to do. He wants to play all around the world. That's his dream. That is his passion. I don't have a passion that strong in anything like the way he does with his playing, and it's real. So I'm like, I believe him. I believe him. Whatever you need, kiddo. Because I used to always talk about, I'll match commitment with commitment. And he's never Never faltered in that.
We sent Zayne to a blues camp and we started going to open mics around town. And I mean, in the beginning, we were at open mics and open jams probably 4 and 5 times a week. And he loved it. He just took to it like a duck to water. He would watch those guitarists and he would go home and practice, and he just got better and better. He started getting attention here in Columbus at the open mics, and people would really rave, but it just turned into more and more. He was involved with Special Olympics, and he had a Special Olympics teammate who was also on the spectrum, who had had lessons for guitar for years and years, and he played the guitar and he was good. They started hanging out, and we met 2 other young people on the spectrum, different places, and I mean, it was just kind of a play date. Yeah, it was very organic. We came up with the idea for the band.
I really didn't think too much of it, but they got to be pretty good where someone would see them and, wanted to book them for their music venue. So we just said, okay, just kind of went with it. I was like the manager just because I was Zayne's dad. And Gwen, my wife, Zayne's mom, she started taking over the marketing, and it was just mind-blowing, absolutely mind-blowing. And he saw the band before it was ever, he would walk up to strangers at music stores asking them if they want to be in his band. And like, you don't have a band, will you please stop doing that? It was like, he was just so casual, and he was honest, drop dead honest, and he saw it.
Back in 2013, that's when the band was born, in January 2013. The name was Spectrum, and that's where, because I have autism, that's where that name comes from, Spectrum. Then my favorite color was blue, and that's why we called it Blue Spectrum.
Zayne's favorite color is blue. And when I say his favorite color is blue, anybody who's familiar with autism and the obsessions, his favorite color is blue. I mean, he didn't want to do anything that didn't have anything to do with blue, so it just worked out well. We feel like the name Blue Spectrum has a lot of meanings. Of course, it references autism, but also I think Zayne's gifts is that he plays a spectrum of music, and so does the whole band. And that's not that common. The band plays everything. They play R&B, classic rock, jazz, country, a little bit of reggae. Our audience, they say they love that. You never know what they're gonna play next. So it makes it really entertaining.
I love playing a diversity of music. I can pretty much play anything. Even though I love classic rock, we could pretty much play anything, play a spectrum of music. That's why we call it Blue Spectrum.
Like most bands, some of them went on their own way, and now we have 5 members. 2 of them are on the spectrum, and the other 3 are veteran, very, very talented, very experienced musicians, and they have a ball.
And just little by little, piece by piece, met Amelia through the blues community, where she became our keyboardist. A sax player joined us, a frat brother of mine, great sax player. He joined us. Uncle Al stepped in, Zayne's uncle. He took over at bass, and then he added vocals. Now we Hosea Hooks, who's like a seasoned band leader, leading bands for like 25, 30 years. And so now we have the current version of the band. It's still all about, just supporting Zayne's dream. Really, that's kind of how it started, just supporting our kids' dream. That's really what it comes down to, the same way parents that follow their kids who are like athletes. And it's like the whole family's involved. So it's that same thing. This is what we do. Can't believe where it's taken us.
One of our first big things is Zayne and Amelia, who are the 2 individuals on the spectrum. They were chosen to represent Columbus in the International Blues Challenge in Memphis, Tennessee, in the Under 21 showcase. And that was amazing, to play in Beale Street. In 2017, we played in San Antonio, Texas. And the way that happened was amazing. Here in Ohio, during March, which is Developmental Disability Awareness Month, they always have a somewhat political get-together at the State House. And they have a lot of the representatives come, and you are able to meet with them, and they have presenters, and it's a really great program. Well, in 2017, they wanted Zayne to play. During his second song, the then Governor Kasich walked in, and everybody went nuts. I was excited too, but then they explained to us that every year they want to invite the governor, and most years the governor's not able to make it. Busy man. And then after Zayne played, Governor Kasich got up and made about a 10-minute unexpected speech, and it was wonderful. And he said in his speech, he said he was walking across the rotunda and he heard this music, and he was like, what is that? Is Carlos Santana here? And he came and he spoke, and people were so excited. A leader of one of these organizations invited us to go to San Antonio and play at their conference, which was incredible. And that was the first big trip. 2019 was an amazing year. He played at the B.B. King Club in Orlando, Florida. That was awesome.
We've done like the Gahanna Creekside Festival and Confest, the Hot Times Festival. Been invited to play the Pittsburgh Blues Festival this summer, Westerville's Fourth Friday, the Hilliard Art Council Summer Series this upcoming summer, the Grove City Art and Wine Festival. Been to Maryland twice to play there. And that's not even counting, Zayne's solo stuff, where we've just been flown to Orlando, El Paso, all over parts of Pennsylvania, Philadelphia, Harrisburg, different events. And it's just been a whirlwind, and we just could not have foreseen everything that we've been a part of.
My goal is to play in different countries. My bucket list is to go to the UK, because they got some good music venues down there. That's what I've heard. I find the United Kingdom very interesting. So I love British rock. I love me some Led Zeppelin, and that's where the Beatles came from, and Def Leppard. Jimi Hendrix. I just like all kinds of guitarists, no matter where they're from. Slash Stevie Ray Vaughan, Eric Clapton, the Swedish guitar player named Yngwie Malmsteen. He's known in Japan and Mexico. I discovered him when I was 15, and I wanted to shred like him. He shreds on a classical guitar too. I also love Van Halen. I love Nirvana. There's some blues guitarists I like B.B. King, Chuck Berry. And I discovered a lot of Delta blues guitars like Robert Johnson, Elmore James, T-Bone Walker. Yeah, those are guitars I've been discovering since I was 16. And and I also love Prince too, because he plays a lot of instruments. I'm like, maybe I can reach his level. Since I have perfect pitch, I can pretty much play anything. My favorite instrument is always string instruments. Pretty much play a banjo too. I learned the finger pick, taught myself the finger pick. And I play acoustic guitar too. And I play also a classical guitar too. I recently bought myself a kalimba. I learned to tune pianos too. And I tune harps.
Oh, it's been amazing. Of course, we're so proud with the band and the music and what he's been able to do. As dramatic as that is, the effect on him personally has been great. The fact that he's found his gift, he's found his passion, and he's able to operate in it, it has transformed him as a person. First of all, he's happier, and it's given him a confidence. When he was young, he was a little slow to talk, and one of the hallmarks of autism is problems with socialization. I mean, he may still have that, but when he is in his element, and when I say his element, I mean music. There's something about music that just brings out the best in him. And we're so grateful.
I mean, we're so caught up in the, reading, writing, arithmetic, just totally didn't even see that his bridge to connecting with the world, his community, his family, his household, was through music. I mean, music changed him. I mean, it gave him that voice that he didn't have before. We couldn't even give him a hug. Our whole family knew that. You didn't just go up and hug him, but music opened him up to such a point to where he was comfortable expressing himself. He'll hug everybody in this room with ease, totally comfortable in who he is.
So at the age of 4, I was diagnosed with autism, which I wasn't even aware of it when I was little. I didn't even know what it was till now. I used to had a hard time fitting in. I used to be painfully shy when I was little and when I was a teenager, when I was in school. I used to not talk as much. I don't even say hello, man. And I had a hard time making eye contact. And I was desperate at that time. I didn't know who to fit in with. The doctors told me I wouldn't be able to read. Doctors were proven wrong. I don't do it for the money. I do it for enjoyment, communicating with people out of desperation, which is a good thing. It's a good desperation to have, to communicate with people, because if I have my guitar with me or if I blow them away, it's a key to talk to people. Even though some people say I'm kind of a show off, maybe sometimes people say, they'll say I'm doing too much. I usually don't believe in that. I blow people's mind. I come up with some new gimmicks. I enjoy playing behind my head, and I've also to spin my guitar around too. I love playing for a lot of people. It'd be nice to have bigger crowds. That's what gives me a lot of fire when I see people in the crowd. Because I want to blow people's mind, show excitement. I want to inspire people. I would love the whole world to know me. What an inspiration I could be. Because I'm still full function, even though I have a disability. I don't let it put me down. I just try to success, and I still build some confidence. Because I'm like teaching myself and stuff. I'm like, wow, if I could teach myself how to be a guitarist, I'm like, what can I teach myself to do? I want that to be for everybody. I want everyone to follow their passion. It may sound emotional, but I don't want them to look down on themselves. I tell it to all people, it doesn't matter if you're disabled or not. Do what you feel. Whatever inspires you, if you have some confidence in yourself to do something that you're interested in, why not do it? I say build your confidence up. If you feel like you can do it, don't hold back. Always persevere.
My daughter is Amelia Walsh. I'm Cindy Walsh, and my daughter is a keyboard player. And she's on the spectrum. She's high-functioning autism. When she was 6 or 7 years old, her grandmother was a school teacher, and she thought that if she had a keyboard, it would help the right side and the left side of her brain work together. So she got her a keyboard, and she's been playing ever since she was 7. And as I was worried about her not being able to play with other people, because she always played by herself, I was taking her to open jams, and that's where we met Zayne. They went from being like a playdate band to professionals. I mean, they are actual professionals, and they're good. That was really cool.
My name's Amelia Rose. I am 24 years old, and I have played keys with Blue Spectrum for about 6 years. So started in 2015. Started playing the piano in 2004, so I was in the first grade, and my mom and grandma thought that that would be a good thing for me to do for my autism, for my hand-eye coordination and my left and right hand working together. And I fell in love with playing the piano. I write music. I'm working on some recordings. I'm doing a lot of gigs with Blue Spectrum, learning a lot of music. It's become a big part of who I am. It started off before I joined. There were other people on the spectrum who made up the band. And actually, at some points, all the members of the band were on the spectrum. Originally kind of started off as like socialization for autistic musicians. I've learned about playing with other people and sharing the spotlight and backing people up that are doing solos and singers and how to play with singers. It's helped me learn to keep time and play along with the song. I like jazz and funk and soul and just kind of older stuff. Just kind of like jam songs like that. Our lead guitar player, Zayne, is also on the spectrum. This band is his dream. Zayne has really taken the whole musician thing to a new level. He's really a great band leader. And our vocalist, Al, he joined Blue Spectrum around the same time I did as a singer. Then he started playing the bass, and he's gotten to be a really, really good bass player. I mean, he was good when he started, but I've noticed a lot of hard work out of him. Cliff joined in 2018. He's our saxophone player, so does a lot of marketing for Blue Spectrum, and he does a lot of kind of groundwork for getting the word out. He's got a natural talent there. And Jose is our newest member. He's our drummer, but he also plays the bass and keys and sing. He does a little bit of everything. Him and I kind of have a special musical relationship too. We jam out together a lot, and I really appreciate everything he has to offer. On his own time, he runs a jazz band, so he's got that whole, jazz funk aspect going to him as well, and that adds a lot to our band. One nice moment was the first time we played Purple Rain with Zayne doing the guitar solos. It was several years ago, and I just remember seeing the lights and watching all the excitement of the crowd, getting to share in that. I always want to be doing something with it. Even though I'm studying chemistry, I'm probably going to do something else too. There's always a place for music in my life.
My name is Cliff Marsh. I play saxophone with the band. I play soprano sax, I play baritone sax, and my main instrument's tenor. I started playing clarinet actually when I was 8. My mother was a nurse and she wouldn't let me play football or any contact sports. Started playing clarinet, and then once I got to junior high, I started looking like a clarinet, kind of long and skinny and black, and so I switched to saxophone in junior high just to try to get cool, and played through high school, into the military for a while, college, raising family and all of that stuff took me away. Life circumstances afforded me the opportunity to pick up the horn again. Remembered all of a sudden that I loved it. I was decent at it. So put in some hours of practice and playing out. I'm a believer in putting the work in, dedicating yourself to progressively getting better and challenging yourself. There's a lot of guys out there who motivate me. Well, I play saxophone, so a couple of names are legendary, and of course Charlie Parker on alto, Michael Brecker, Clarence Clemens to some extent, you know, the energy, the passion, and of course John Coltrane. But even locally, they're great musicians here. And you know, the Columbus music scene is probably underrated as far as the musical talent here. I first met Zayne here, actually at Last Call. There was a Thursday night jam, and so musicians from all over the city would come out and just come up and play. I remember him walking in, and he was dressed like Zayne normally dresses, Stevie Ray Vaughan, redone. And I looked at him and said, okay, this guy thinks he can play like Stevie Ray Vaughan. And then he got up and played, and I was like, okay, he's playing like Stevie Ray Vaughan. What's it like playing with Blue Spectrum? Well, it's been an adventure, to say the least. Blue Spectrum is home for me as far as bands go. Zayne's energy and always wanting to do another song, always wanting to do something else, really just kind of feeds into, I think, the energy of the group. He's just helped me just by being Zayne, just by being awesome, you know, and just being energetic and going at it with a passion. His energy and his passion inspire me and make me better. Amelia's a great talent, understated, excellent, and she's my perfect pitch go-to when I can't place a note. She's there for me. Uncle Al is just an amazing talent also and a great singer. I don't think he realizes how good he is. We try to bring that out of him, and that's a good problem to have. Hosea, new to the band, you know, he plays 3 instruments. His musical knowledge is really just off the charts, and he's brought a lot of good information to help us ground and find ourselves musically. You know, anywhere we go, we're greeted with enthusiasm and support. In terms of Blue Spectrum, we're starting to do originals now, and you know, we're into our own sound and who we are, and so that's kind of helping me develop my own sound and what I bring. Beyond, you know, more gigs, more money, I would like to see us become more of ourselves. I think original songs and developing everyone to contribute to the original stuff that we can generate, I think would be probably where I want to see. Dream venue with this band would be the Apollo Theater. I can see us doing that. It's historic, so I think we can all kind of pull from the greats that have graced that stage and the energy and historical significance of that. You know, the sky's the limit with this band in terms of what we can do. And it's really fueled by Zayne's imagination and energy. We all fuel off of that.
My name's Hosea Books. I'm the third, so there's a bunch of us. I play drums for Blue Spectrum. I had met Zayne at a jam session up off Bryce Road. They were starting a blues night there. Someone said, here's a guy, I want you to check him out, he's really good. And Zayne sat in with my band, so we just started getting to know each other. I used to come and watch him, and one day Gene gave me a call and asked me would I be interested in jamming with Zayne some. And, we jammed. Funny thing is, there was a club over in Grandview that I always wanted to play, so I went over there and I took my band. While we were there, I met Amelia because she asked me if she could help me load my car. So I said, sure, but it's kind of heavy stuff. She says, oh, that's fine. And we talked, and I kind of got to meet her. And then ended up going back again with my band, and my band performed there. We ended up getting a gig, and I saw Amelia, and I had her come up on stage and play with us, and she just blew me away. One day, Gene called and said, we need a drummer. We're looking for a drummer. Would you be interested? I said, sure. And that's pretty much how it all started. It's a unique experience. I'll be totally honest. At the time when Gene called me, I had my own band. I was really ready for a change. I wanted to be in an environment where I didn't have to worry about egos, and I'd always kind of wanted to play drums. For me, it was easier playing drums because that's what I started off on. So it was perfect. I have a strong feeling about there's musicians and there's artists. Musicians can listen to music and they can duplicate it. Artists can take it and play around with it and play it in a different way, and give it a different feel, present it in a way that you can hear how I feel. And I can hear how they feel. And we communicate that way in music. Sometimes we'll do something when we're playing it with Blue Spectrum. It happens a lot. Somebody will do something in the music and everybody felt it, and we all look at each other and just giggle and laugh without saying anything. It's fun. It's a lot of fun. And the feedback is wonderful. We feed off of the audience. That's why I'm here. I'm here for the people.
My name's Alan Jefferson, and I go by Uncle Al. I play the bass, and I'm the vocalist for Blue Spectrum. Zayne is my nephew. Zayne had been introduced to the blues, and he really liked the blues, and I guess he and his dad and his mom were going out to blues jams. And one day they just gave me a card and said, "Man, you ought to come out to this blues jam with us and sing a song with Zayne." And I'm like, "Yeah, okay, but I only know one blues song." He said, "That's all it takes." I'm like, "Okay." So we went out, we did it, and I sang it, and he played it, and everybody loved it. And so then we started to be a semi-regular thing. Learned a couple more songs and started doing that, and it was fun. Zayne was telling me about Blue Spectrum, and then, "Why don't you join the band?" I'm like, "Sure, okay." I always wanted to be in a band, but just never really worked out. I'm like, in my nephew's band. It was great. It was a lot of fun. It's just fun. It really is. My favorite part of the show, I think, is when I'm talking. Because believe it or not, when I'm not on stage, I'm very reserved, I'm quiet, and a lot of times I don't know what to say or don't have anything to say, so I don't say a lot. When I get on stage, I get animated, and I interact with the crowd, and I feed off the crowd, and it's just I want everybody to have a good time. So I said, well, in order for them to have a good time, they've got to see me having a good time, and so we just feed off of each other. I just really love it. I'm a model for Zayne because it's Zayne's band, so we always want Zayne to talk if he's comfortable doing that. Zayne went from a kid who's too shy to say anything at all to now it's nothing for him to start a conversation with somebody that he doesn't know. It's nothing for him to get on the mic. Just to see it develop over the years and to where it is now, I'm like, oh yeah. I just smile and never thought this would be. To me, it's amazing looking back that I'm actually in a band with Zayne. I remember the first time I heard him play guitar. It was at a family event. I was like, Zayne's gonna play guitar. I was like, okay, hear him play, and even if we don't like it, we're gonna clap and encourage. It was really wow. I think it took a while for everybody to actually clap because we were just so stunned. It was like, oh my gosh, this kid is great. He's great. And we were so happy, and to even think about where he was and where he is now and where he's going, because he's a type, he knows he has not reached the pinnacle and that he never will. So he's always striving to learn more and to get better and to do things. Zayne was diagnosed at the age of 4 with autism, and the doctors told his parents all of the things that he would not be able to do. And when I first heard that, it didn't sit well with me. I said, why would you say things like that? But the more I hung around Zayne, the more I got to see him, I began to realize there is no limit on the things that he can do. There's no limit on the things that any of us can do. A diagnosis is not the end of the world. Maybe there's some challenges. It just means, okay, we have this, now how are we gonna approach it? And as long as they get the support and the things that are needed, the sky is still the limit. Who could have predicted this? No one. So don't get upset when you're told all the things that a person won't be able to do. Just know the sky is the limit on the things that they will be able to do. They can believe it, they can dream it, they can achieve it. A lot of times people will hear they've got autism and they are expecting a certain level, and we love to blow that out of the water, and then they're like, oh wow. And now they're thinking. And so now they're not gonna have these lowered expectations when they hear someone else who may have a diagnosis of something else. And that is the message that we as a band hope to project when we're on stage, when we're just talking to people. Anything that you want to achieve can be achieved. And that's what we want to get through to everybody.
thank you very much. We are Blue Spectrum. So we got a Facebook page called Blue Spectrum, so feel free to look up our next coming event. And we have a website called bluespectrumband.com. Hope to see y'all again. So thank you.